Well, that's done. Let's get to an episode of Tips, Tech, and Discussion. Coming to you right now.
What's going on, YouTube? And thanks for tuning in to today's TTD, where we're covering transition areas. Now, I'll transition from the cold into the bass basement. Let's get right into it. If you're new to the channel, I invite you to subscribe, tap the notification bell, and join us as I drop a new video here in the bass basement every week. Now, what's a transition area? Well, a transition area is when you look at the bank and it goes from one cover to the next. It may go from wood to gravel, gravel to pebble rock to sand, and so on and so forth. And when those two covers meet, that's when you're gonna have a dynamite place to catch some bass. Now, you usually see a lot of transition areas during the fall drawdown. A lot of reservoirs, the Ozark Lakes, Kentucky Lake, Pickwick Lake. During the fall drawdown, those lakes draw 6, 7, 8 feet, and you're able to see the bank and what type of cover is on the bank. Now, usually that cover that's on the bank is still underwater. So that means when you see those type of covers meet, that's where you're gonna be your high spots and your high percentage areas to catch fish. Let's check out a diagram so you can see exactly what I mean. Let's take a look at this diagram here. On this diagram, we have wood, small rock, chunk rock on a point, gravel, and a tapering inside turn. These areas are right here are perfect to catch some bass during that fall and winter pool. As you notice, that wood, small rock, chunk rock, gravel, and tapering inside turn is going to continue to flow into the lake. So you know what you're fishing underneath the water. And a perfect technique to catch some aggressive bass is to find out what the fish are holding on when the two covers meet. Where that wood and small rock meet, perfect high percentage strike zone area. That chunk rock on a point has a lot of large rocks where bait fish will be able to hide as well as crawfish. That chunk rock to small pea gravel will be a high percentage area, and going back into that tapering point will be a perfect area in the back of a windblown pocket to catch some bass. Now, when I want to fish these areas and catch aggressive fish, there are two baits that I'm definitely going to go for. And two things I'm looking for is the size of the bait fish and my depth zone. So I'm going to throw a crankbait, and the crankbait of choice is going to be a Berkley Digger and a Berkley Dredger. Now, even though the Berkley Dredger right here is a 14.5, I may be fishing in 8 feet. I want this Berkley Dredger to bang and clang and dig, and dredge, as the bait says, along those boulders, rocks, wood, what have you, to create a reaction strike. If that's the size of the bait fish, this is the bait I'm going to throw. I want this lip to come back all banged up and damaged, but it'll be all right. It's going to do the work. If the bait fish are smaller, I'm going to go right here with this Berkley Digger. This is a 4.5, small bait fish profile, and it's perfect for that area as it's covering water. It's going to bang against the rock, the wood, the stumps, what have you, and it's going to deflect, and it's going to create a reaction strike. So these are two baits that I'm going to go along that bank right there and crank aggressively to get those large bites from those aggressive fish. Here's my setup, folks, when I'm transition cranking. I've got a 7'4" medium fast Garcia Veritas rod, Revo 4X. This is the X series, 6.6 to 1, 12 to 14 pound test, 100% Berkley Fluorocarbon. If there's a lot of cover, I'm gonna step it up a little bit and go with that higher pound fluorocarbon test. And the bait of choice is a Berkley Digger or Dredger. Now, I want to focus on matching the hatch. That's going to help me choose the right color of the bait. And then also, I want to focus on the depth zone. That's going to tell me which bait I'm going to choose within that Berkley hard bait line to get to that depth of where that cover is, so I can have my crankbait deflect, hit, and bang, so I can get that reaction strike from those aggressive bass. Well, there you have it, folks. That's today's TTD covering transition areas. Hope you like what you saw. If so, tap that like button. It helps the channel grow. Also, don't forget to tap the notification bell so you know every time I'm here in the bass basement on Tips, Tech, and Discussion. And I'll see you next time. Peace.